Yesterday I went live with a video about, what was the topic? Let me see. The debate continues. The biggest difference between white, black, colored, Indian, and Chinese South African folk. So there were a few people online watching. I invited them to debate me. I invited them to speak to me, but people, they don't like to talk, or you don't even have to talk. All you have to do is send a message. So two people commented. I think it was three. Okay, there were two. Well, it's the same person that commented twice. What's the Schlanchla K60 person? So I actually want to address what this person here said. So what I'm going to do is, there's nobody online right now. But what I will do is, I will, as people come online, I'll say hello, and then please say hi, and then etc. So what I want you to do is, I don't know if you can see the, what do you call that thing? If you can see there's a picture, the picture to my video. See if you can see it. Okay, let me see if I can. Okay, while I'm on this, I'm also going to be on Facebook. Yeah. A day in my life as an oppressed white South African, went to visit a neighboring farm, and I had to. Okay, let's do this. Let me see if I go back on YouTube. There's nobody here yet. Okay, so I'm first gonna just get people to know that I'm online. So let me find the link for them. Oh, hi, I see one person. So if you can maybe say hi and tell me if you can hear me properly, because then I can start. Ah, person disappeared. Maybe they don't disappear. Maybe it's just the way I don't know what you call that thing. So how do I delete this one? I don't want this one here. Okay, there's nobody here. Okay, yeah, I see one person. Hi. Okay, so what's going to happen is, because you're already here, I will start. Oh, there's 4 people. I will start, but then, I'm going to probably have to keep repeating myself, because as more people come in, I have to talk to them. Please say hi if you want to. And then also, I hope you can all hear me, because if you say hi, it means you can hear me, okay? So I made a video about, it said the debate continues, the biggest difference between white, black, colored, Indian, Chinese, and Chinese South African people. So I explained what the difference is, like what is a white South African, what is a black South African, what is a colored Indian, Chinese. And then, of course, there were some people who, I don't think, I need to change my glasses. I don't think they actually learned in school. You see, in my days when I was in standard 9, that means age 16. in biology, we had a whole lesson on genetics, on how genetics work, blah, 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 blah. But it seems that these days, biology, I think biology, English language, common sense, critical thinking, I don't think this is being taught in schools anymore, because I've noticed a lot of people don't know how to, they don't know much about biology, or like especially genetics, and also they don't know the English language comprehension, linguistics, semantics. So what I'm doing is I'm going to read what this person said, and then I will go through it, because this person, because in my previous video, I explained what my race is, okay? So as I read, I will explain again. Right, so the first thing, because we were talking about Khoisan people. So Khoisan people, Khoi, Khoi, San, San. So while I'm talking, if you want to go online and search, okay? So Khoisan, so what we do is we just put it together. But Khoisan means Khoi are the Hottentot people of South Africa. And San are, someone's coming up. Thank you. San are the Bushman people. So there's Khoi people, Hottentots, and San people. Now they are the indigenous people of South Africa. Okay, that means they were there even before 1652, when the Dutch came and colonized South Africa. It is their land, so they are indigenous. Okay, like I said in the other video, the black tribes that I know that were there were the Zulus. Okay, of course, some people will argue, oh, but the Zulus came from the north, and the north that time was not South Africa. I don't know about that. I don't want to get into black fighting online. But anyway, the Zulus. Now, there were also Basutus, which were on the mountains of Lesotho. And there are also Swazis, which are mountains of Eswatini. But this is not South Africa. These are two different countries, so different people. I'm talking about South Africa. Okay? So basically, at that time, definitely the only people that were there were the Khoi and the San. And maybe, because I'm not so sure, but I think it is right, the Zulus. Now, whether the Xhosas were there, I don't know. I did not do that research. And that research, even when I spoke to people, they say it's all, some of it is right, some of it's not right. But anyway, I don't want to get into that. I just want to get into my race and what this person was saying. Now, let's start. I am a colored South African. So what does that mean? Colored, there are three types of coloreds. Within the colored is the main race. Then within the main race of colored, you have Cape colored, Cape Malay, and other colored. Cape colored is like me, which means your descendant is Khoi or San, because when the Dutch came, they were all males. They married or had children with Khoi women or with San women. And of course, when this happened, they gave offspring to this mixed children, okay? British came, they did the same thing. Portuguese came, they did the same thing. So there was a whole just like up for grabs thing going on there. So a lot of these mixed people were being born. And what also happened is then these people were marrying each other, or they were just marrying, like if it was a mixed child, hey, hello, hi. Or the mixed child, thank you, the two people there that said hi. So that means you can hear me, right? So these mixed children, so maybe they married each other, or maybe the one mixed child married a Portuguese, which is a white person, or they married a Dutch, another white person, or they married a British, which is another, and then they had children. So you see, there were some people that would have then had more Khoi or more San. There would be some that would have more white, but it doesn't matter. They still all descendants from the same people. They either Khoi, San, and European. So those three, they either Khoi and European or San and European. They all originate from there. And then, of course, as I said, they start mingling. Later, when the Malays came in, which they were from Indonesia mainly and from Malaya, then more mixing went on. They started mixing. Also, at that time, the white people already started not marrying or having relations with these people, these mixed people. So these mixed people were all just mixing amongst each other, amongst themselves, okay? So the whole mixture going on. Then the Indians came, so then there was a whole more things going on there. Okay, so that means one person could be Khoi and British, well, Khoi and European, and so Khoi, European, and also Indian, and then also Malay. Malay meaning Indonesian, and or someone from Malaya. Okay, you see, they're not just Malay or just Indian or just, they were mixed because they mix of many races. Okay, now that's the colored people. Now when you get to the Cape Malays, which still fall under colored because they are still non-white. So the Cape Malays, what happened to them is they started off with Khoi, some of them, not all. Some started with Khoi and San, or Khoi San, and then they married, like I said, and then they were like this mixture. And then when the Malays came from Malaya and from Indonesia, they started mingling with them and, having children with them. But what made them different from the colored, they added this extra thing, which was the religion of Islam. So then what happened is all these people who were of this mix, but they were Muslims and their descendants were from Malaya and what is this other country, Malaya and Indonesia, they then were just called Cape Malay as to show that they are but different, which they were because their religion is different. Okay, but what happened is because our government that time, which was Dutch, they were a little bit stupid. That's the word, because I can't think of any other word, because stupid means what? Ignorant. I don't know what stupid means. I can't remember. But anyway, they were stupid, not knowledgeable. What they did was any immigrant to South Africa who was Muslim was then classed as Cape Malay. So you could be Iranian, Iraqi, Persian, Middle Eastern. You could be from, all the Ottoman empires that was conquered and that converted to Islam. You could have been from there. You could be an Indian Muslim. That didn't matter. As long as you were Muslim, they said you Cape Malay. So of course, they were then also categorized as non-white. So then all these people were mingling with each other, marrying each other, having children with each other. So these ones that were Islam were colored, but they were Cape coloreds. And the others who were all this mix, but they were not colored. They were not Muslim. They normally were Christians. So they were Cape coloreds. And then the last one are the other coloreds. So other colored would be a non-white, which means Indian or Chinese. Oh, I forgot about Chinese. Indian, Chinese, or Cape Malay. No, sorry, not Cape Malay. I'm wrong. Indian, Chinese, any of these people who then mixed with, what is this other thing? Oh, I forgot. Yes, they would also mix with black. I'm sorry. They also mixed with black, but they would still be colored because, the Khoisan is there, the European is there, and then maybe black. Okay. But now if there was this other group, if it's a European race that's mixing with, so a pure European, not mixed, pure, like a pure Dutch or British or Portuguese or French, because the French also started coming. If they were pure of this race and they mixed with they had a child with a non-white, which is a black or a Chinese or an Indian or a colored, no, not colored, black, Indian, Chinese, just black, Indian, Chinese, okay? Their children would be called other colored. You can only be a Cape colored or a Cape Malay if there is the Khoisan present. So even if you were black and there was some Khoisan, you could be colored, okay? Depends on how you registered. You could be colored. But without the Khoi or the San and the white, sorry, so if it's just Khoisan and black, it's still not white. It's not colored, sorry, I'm wrong. Oh, I'm just talking a lot of rubbish now. So have you got that? Maybe I should write it down. Let's try again from the beginning. Colored. 3. Cape colored, Cape Malay, other colored. So what is colored? Colored is Khoi or San mixed with one of the European races, but can also include Indian or any other race, as long as you are not Muslim. That's Cape colored. Then you have Cape Malay. So Khoi, San, must have European, can have any other mix or just those, but your ancestors, you must be descendant of a Muslim race, a Muslim religion, a race that's religion is Muslim. The last one would be the other colored. Other colored means you must be white mixed with any other non-white race. Not you must be mixed with black or Indian. Oh, the other one was Arab, you know, okay, but in this case, not Arab. So other colored is white with black, Indian, Chinese. Okay, that makes you an other colored, like Trevor Noah. Okay, so me, I am Cape colored. So because I'm not Muslim, I'm a Cape Malay, I'm Cape colored. Now, because all these coloreds, not the other colored, okay, because other colored, put them aside because they are just white with black or Indian or Chinese. You put the Cape Malay and the Cape colored together. Because they have Khoi and San heritage, that means they are indigenous because their ancestors are indigenous, and because they are descendants, which we know descendants means they come from the Khoi and the San. Yes, they also come from Europe and all these other countries. Oh, sorry, my cat is on the wardrobe. But what that then means is that they are descendants of Khoi and San, which means they are indigenous to South Africa. But they are also descendants of Europe, because, you know, their ancestors are also European, like white, whatever. And then also, some of them might also be descendants from India as well. So one person could claim a heritage from many countries. Like me, I can claim from many countries because I am so mixed. Okay? That's why I'm colored, Cape colored. I'm not other colored, and I'm not Cape Malay, I am Cape colored. Okay, so if anyone has any questions about that, please do ask, because I can at least help you, because we are here to learn, okay? Right. So this person said, the Shlanshla K60 said to me, you are not Khoisan. Okay, after I just explained to you all that my descendants are, well, you are not Khoisan, yes, because Khoisan are two, it's the Hottentot I told you is Khoi and Bushman is San. So he's right, actually in a way they're right, because I am not from both. I'm only from one. I am San, I am Bushman. My ancestry is my heritage is Bushman, okay? Then he says here, or she says, the Khoisan DNA in you is less than 10%, obviously. Of course, they know this because they have seen my DNA. Okay. Actually, the San, not Khoisan, because remember I said I'm San. The San in me is actually 18%. Okay? So it's not obvious. Because I don't know who this person is, but it seems like this person must be someone that knows me and my family and has seen my DNA analysis. So this person must be very close to me. So it's either my husband or my son. Can only be one of the two, because they're the only ones that have actually seen, of course, and my professors at university. Okay. Then this person goes on to say, I am Khoisan, 65% father and a Tswana mother. Good for you that you are Khoisan. So all that sentence to me says is that I am San, because I'm 18%, San, and you are both Hottentot and Bushman, and that's by 65%. So all you're telling me is that you have more more indigenous DNA in you than me. But just because you have more doesn't mean that I am not indigenous. You understand? Because that's not how DNA works. It doesn't make me, it makes me just have less, but it doesn't make me not be. If there was 0%, yes, then I'm not. Okay? Right. Father, okay, the father is Khoisan and the mother is Tswana. So Tswana is a black race. Okay, so good for you. I feel very happy for you. And they both look like brother and sister like myself. Also good for you, because my parents don't look like each other, because my father is mixed and my mother is mixed. And if you are a real Cape Colored, no one in your family looks the same. Or maybe two will look the same, but three won't. And there's one that will totally look like someone else's child, like they were adopted from some other family or they were kidnapped or something, right? We know that. We all know that. Okay? So good for you that they all look alike, but that's not my family. And a lot of other coloreds will tell you the same thing. A lot. I'm not alone in this. Please, if you're colored, write there and tell me that. And if you're in Malaysia, I'm sure a lot of you also who are in mixed families, you can also say that, right? You'll know. There'll be one that looks like someone else's child, or two. There'll be some resemblance. You all have something, but everyone will look different. The hair texture might be different placement of this, the cheekbones will be different. The jawline might be different. The skin colors might be different, but it doesn't matter. DNA doesn't lie. When they, at the end of the day, map your DNA, you will see you are siblings. Okay, right. Blacks are more Khoisan. Blacks are more Khoisan in them than the coloreds. Well, I don't know about that, but I will not hear about wanting to claim who is more and who is not more. What I'm here to claim is that colored people, that means the Cape Coloreds and the Cape Malays, are indigenous to South Africa. Okay? And yes, anyone who has Khoi is also indigenous. So if this person is more black, good for you. It just means you're more black. But what this means is we are indigenous. Okay? So you may look black, but actually you are also mixed. It's just that you are not colored mixed. Okay? You are mixed. I don't know what word they're going to give you, but you're not colored because you are Khoi and black. There is no European in you. What makes you the color, there has to be European. Okay? Right. So I think they just classed you as black, but actually you should be classed as Khoisan, if you ask me. But I mean, you could probably just choose. Okay. Then this would say you are mixed race. Hello. Of course I'm mixed race. That's what colored means. It means mixed race. IQ. Okay. And more European and Asian than Khoisan. Okay, so I don't know how I can be more Asian, but definitely more European than Khoisan. Because Khoisan is only 16%. More European, definitely. Asian, no, my Asian is less than my Khoisan. Not my Khoisan, my son, because I'm not Khoisan, okay? Then my son. My Khoi is 0%. My son is 18%, okay? You do not look anything like Khoi, San, or African. So I don't know what rock this person has climbed under, or I don't really know much about this person. I don't know, because I feel like this person has not gone outside in the street, because they've obviously never seen colored people. They've also obviously not seen black people, because there are black people who have green eyes, blonde hair, sharp nose, but they are black. A lot of them live in Namibia. They are what, Hereros, and what is the other tribe, Triquas, and I don't know, all this Himbas. And I have put, if you look at my thumbnail, that is a Bushman child. That child has green eyes and fair skin. Because the Khoi and San races are Capoid races. They are not Negroid. There are 4 anthropological races: Caucasoid, Negroid, Carpoid Mongoloid. San people are carpoid races. Sorry, there's a fifth one. The one Oshia, what the one from Astroloid? I don't know something, but it's to do with the island people, like those near the Australian islands there. Okay, yeah, there's five. Now there's five, but I am carpoid, not negroid, not caucasoid, not mongoloid, not australoid, whatever it's called. Okay, so that's just what it is. So obviously, when you are carpoid, you are not going to have dark skin because the Khoi and the San did not have dark skin. They did not have what we call like black skin tone. They had a darker skin, but it had a pink undertone. And if you want, you can go look at pictures on the internet, and you can look at the one that is on my thumbnail. Okay, right. So like I said, I don't think this person goes out a lot, right? I'm waiting for them to come on so I can talk to them. I don't like to talk like this. Then this one says, we do not subscribe to bullshit written by invader with land agenda. I don't know who is we, and I don't know who the invader is with land agenda. I don't know who that is, who he's talking about, but that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about race. Oh, and by the way, I know all this about myself because I had my DNA mapped. So I know what I am. I know exactly what I am. Okay? I have it in black and white. Okay, then it says, yes, South Africa never existed until colonizers divided our history as Africans. Khoi and San are, and well, this person doesn't have full stop, so it's a bit difficult. So it says, South Africa never existed until colonizers divided it. I think that, true, the name South Africa did not exist, but the actual country and the land, of course it existed. What, you think it just happened? No, it was there. That's why when they came there, they saw it. It's not like they came there and they were looking around and there was nothing and honey, bah! And there was light and there was land and then there was heaven and there was land. No, 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 no. It was already there. They saw it and they took their ship and they landed there. So it was there. But the actual name South Africa, they gave to it because it's a name. The Khoi and the San had different names for it. I don't know what it is because I didn't research that, but I'm sure because they were talking to each other. So they must have called their place something. Okay, right. Our history as Africans, Khoi and San, right? Okay, well, Africans are, San and Khoi are Africans. An African tribe of nomads, yes. You can find them as far as Tanzania, yeah. They're all over Southern Africa. Yeah, but the ones in Tanzania are not, everyone comes from Africa. They came from Africa and then they went up north. That's all. And that's all. That's about all. Okay. Nothing to say that Tanzania doesn't have them or Kenya, whatever. Doesn't, nothing about that. Just talking about South Africa. Okay. They all over Southern Africa. Very good. Yes, they are. Because they moved around. They moved around. But there are others like me whose ancestors did not move around. They stayed in South Africa. They did not go to Tanzania and Kenya. They stayed in South Africa. That's why I was born. Because my people did not move to Tanzania. Because if they did, I would have been born there. They stayed in South Africa. And this you can see in my DNA because it can trace it back to the Karua. Okay? Right. Do you understand what nomad means? No, I don't know what nomad means, especially since I'm a world traveler. I've been traveling the world in a car, first on a motor and then in a car for 10 years. So I really don't know what a nomad is. I mean, I'm so stupid. You know, I never went to school. I didn't go to university. I know nothing about nomad. Never heard of it. Okay. My Khoi San, I mean, this person keeps saying Khoi San because Khoi and San are two different people, okay? Two different tribes. My Hottentot and Bushman grandparents can still trace their grandparents. And I tell you, white men Your father messed up our history as Africans to benefit himself. Well, he's talking to, good for him that his grandparents are still, he can trace them. I can't trace them by name, but I can trace my great ancestors up to the 1700s, and they were Khoisan. It's in my DNA, okay? But I don't know the name. There was no name, okay? And I tell you, white men, your father messed up our history as Africans to benefit himself. Okay, he's talking here to white people about this. Okay, yeah, fair enough. They did mess up our history. That's why we are having this conversation now, because we don't even know who we are. That's how they messed us up. Look at me. I am an indigenous person. My ancestors were frolicking around in the bush naked, worshipping Coke bottles, if you believe the movie The Gods Must Be Crazy. But anyway, that's what we were doing. Then the white man came, thumped us on the head with the Bible. We all became Christians. We all started wearing clothes, and now we look down on other people who don't wear clothes. That's what happened to us. That's what the white man did, right? Stripped us of our roots. Look at me. My mother tongue is Afrikaans. Ek praat Afrikaans. That is my mother tongue. I should be, but I did not learn that language, because it was stripped away from my ancestors. So they did not pass it on to me. So yeah, there I get what he's saying there, right? Then he says, I dare you now to do an ancestry DNA. You're a bit late. I've already done it. I am being generous with 10% Khoisan. Yeah, no, it's mine is 18%. So you're not being generous. DNA, you are mixed race. For sure, I'm mixed race. I've never said I'm not. I would never deny my ancestry. Never, ever. That's a bad thing to do. I've seen people deny their families, like they will never talk about their black mother or their white mother or whatever. Look at Barack Obama. You don't hear anything about his mother. No. Okay. You are mixed race, and mixed race is not original anywhere in the world. Hello. They are original in South Africa. Colors are made in South Africa. We originated in South Africa. Know your history. Okay. History begins the moment white men land in Africa. Yeah, they landed in South Africa, and that's how we originate. I just gave the story. We originated from them landing here. Okay. And I'm not hating, it's the truth. Yeah, it's the truth, but in a way, you're kind of hating, to be honest. Yes, you are South African, and I love that, but don't mix facts. I'm not mixing facts. I'm telling you the facts, because you don't seem to know the facts. You have more of European and Asian. No, I have maybe a little bit more European, but not Asian. The only Asian I have is like, I think, 4% Indian. That's about it. And less African. Yes, African I have maybe, yeah, I can't remember. Oh no, Asian was 6%. African is probably 4%. Yeah, African was very little. And some mixed race have black DNA, obviously. Yes, and some colors as well, like me. I'm not going to deny my grandfather, not at all. And my grandfather was blue-black. He was black. I mean, you know, when I say blue-black, you know that when they shine, that black that shines. Because he's a Mauritian Creole. You know, Creole, he came from Mauritius. He's Creole, but he was also mixed. And the funny thing about him is he was, because Creoles are normally Indian. In his case, he was Ethiopian, black, Arab, and of course, Creoles would be, they have to be French mix as well in order to be Creole. That's what he was. Although he had some of the French in him, which is white, he had some of the Arab, which is brown. That man was blue-black. Black. Okay. So there you go. But again, that's why I say color, if you cannot base someone's race on the color of their skin. It doesn't work like that. Especially if you mix race, you cannot. Okay. Lastly, Bantu is not black people or a tribe. Bantu means humans. Yeah, I don't know about that. I didn't say anything about Bantus. All races are Bantu, human. Yeah, I don't know. Like I said, I didn't mention that. are human beings. Yeah, we're all human beings. White people make a mess of our history. Yes, they did, I must admit. We have different tribes made up of Zulu, Xhosa, and Khoisan. Yes, we know that. But white men divided these tribes to conquer. We know that. Khoisan in dry areas or deserts like the Northern Cape, where I'm from. Okay, you're from the Northern Cape. I am from South Africa, the Johannesburg, the Karoo. Okay, so lower. Well, now I'm from Johannesburg. At that time, I'm from my ancestors from the Karoo. Namibia, dry areas, yeah, but Namibia is not South Africa. Botswana is also not South Africa. Okay, Xhosas, Eastern Cape, okay, Xhosas are black, so I'm not talking about them. And Cape Town, originally Zulus. Zulus are from KwaZulu-Natal. Okay, fine. Cape Town is actually where the majority of Coloureds and Cape Malays live. They are the majority. The demographics of the Cape province, they are the majority because, Jan van Riebeeck landed there. So that's where Coloureds, that's why we are called Cape Coloured and Cape Malay, because we originated there. There is nowhere in the world where you find Cape Coloureds, Cape Malay. No, they originated in South Africa because of Jan van Riebeeck and his friends. And then after him, Vasco da Gama and his friends. And after that, the British who occupied. Okay, right. Okay, then he says from Mpumalanga, Swaziland, which is now Eswatini, and up to Limpopo. Vendas are originally from the Congo, and they feature language called, yeah, that's fine, but we're talking about me now. I'm not interested in all those other people because this is all about me. Okay, anyway, moving on. Maybe start learning African history to understand and stop relying on white men's books. I think I understand my ancestry quite well. I think I understand South African history quite okay. So I don't know what his argument with me is. I think his argument is more that I look more white than he does. So obviously I look more white than he does because he has no European roots whatsoever. So duh, you're not gonna look white. Somebody has to tell you that. And I only look white because there's the light here. And usually in the winter, but most of the year I look very bronze, very golden brown. I have a nice sun-kissed complexion. Goes with mixed. But you see these cheekbones here? Typical Bushman. If you see my body, typical Bushman. You look at the shape of my head, Bushman uitgedruk. Uitgedruk die Bushman. Look at my hair. Uitgedruk die Bushman. Cannot run away from it. Yes, I might have palms might be pink. My eyes are pink under my feet. Yeah, because I'm also European. You understand? And I might have a slight almond-shaped eyes because I am also Indian. See, we can be many things at once, right? I'm also Arab. Okay, that's why I'm bronze. In the summer, I'm very bronze. I have a bronze thing going. Okay, because my father is Palestinian. Well, 1925 he was Palestinian, and then after 1948 he became Israel. So I'm also Israeli. So actually I'm committing genocide somewhere in the world now. Let's not get into that because that's another subject. Okay, yeah. So basically, whoever this person is, I hope this clears up for you. This clears it up for you. But if you have any more questions, feel free to ask. I thought you would be here, and then I could really explain it to you properly. And then the same person says, Black South Africans are Africans, and South Africa is in Africa. Yeah. Well, not all Black South Africans are Africans because some, sorry, wrong. Yes, Black South Africans are Africans. Of course, because you're South African by nationality, and then you are Black by race. And South Africa is of course, South Africa is in Africa. Where did you think South Africa was? That is why I think Africa cannot progress because, there's a lot of us are quite ignorant about our history, especially South Africans, about history, about who we are. But I mean, you can't blame us because it was stripped off from us, right? Like I mentioned, like my race. And even our parents, they don't like to talk about it. I only found out all these things well, I found out a little bit from my mother's side of the family, because those people are all white with green eyes and blah, 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 blah. Yet my mother's the father with the blue-black father. But anyway, and I got some of the stories about my mother and my father from them. And then my father was an orphan. He was an abandoned baby. He was abandoned at the Catholic Church. And then he was brought up in Umtata, which is a black homeland. But this was a white boy, you know. But anyway, so I found out about his story with my mother's story from family members, which also didn't want to talk about it because a lot of skeletons in the closet. And the real way I found out about who I am is when I did my DNA test. Because blood does not lie. It doesn't lie. And I do understand this. And I know my South African history. Well, let's say I know 60% of it, I must admit, because I went to school during the apartheid. So there were a lot of things that got changed or left out. But anyway, so I don't know when this debate is going to stop, because I think this is already the 4th video I made about DNA, ancestry, what I am, what I'm not, who I am, who I'm not, what race I am, what race I'm not. But anyway, I'm always here to teach. This is an educational program, educational channel. So if you want to ask questions, please ask questions. And thank you for those who stopped by. And cheers, have a good life.